Well, good evening. This is the last commencement ceremony for this season. And I bet you think we saved the best for last, right? My name is William Watkins, Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students. It is my great privilege to declare the opening of the California State University Northridge commencement ceremony for the College of Health and Human Development. I ask that you all now please rise and remain standing as the Jazz A Band, under the direction of Professor Scott Whitfield, plays the national anthem. Our vocalist is Merced Stratton, and before you are CSUN students who will perform the national anthem using American Sign Language.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, give proof through the night that our flag was safe. Oh, sailors, that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the
Thank you, and be seated. How about another cheer for Merced Stratton? Celebrating this occasion with us this evening and seated on the platform are members of the President's Extended Cabinet. Also, for the College of Health and Human Development, we have Dean Dr. Farrell Webb, Associate Dean Dr. Dimitri Tamalis, and department chairs, Dr. Lou Rubino for Health Sciences, Dr. Konstantinos Vragistinos for Kinesiology, Dr. Rebecca Child for Nursing, Dr. Jana Beeling for Physical Therapy, and Dr. Michelle Best for Recreation and Tourism Management. Okay. In addition, Faculty President Mary Pat Stein and your Associated Students President Beverly Ntago are with us, along with CSUN alumnus Jack Scott. I ask that now all of the members of the platform party please rise and be recognized. Thank you. And now it's my great privilege to present to you our president, Dr. Diane Harrison.
Thank you, Vice President Watkins. Good evening, everyone. As president of this university, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the 2019 California State University Commencement ceremony for the 2018-2019 graduates of the College of Health and Human Development. On behalf of CSUN's distinguished faculty and staff, I congratulate the graduates being honored here today. You challenged yourselves to hone your creativity, develop a sense of teamwork, and solve complex problems, and become a critical thinker. I know the path to this day wasn't always easy. Long days, late nights became routine for you. But you expanded your worldview and built friendships with other matadors who shared your interests, your struggles, and your ambitions. Through it all, You learn to love learning. Each of you made a commitment to educate yourself, and in advancing yourself through education, you will advance your families, your communities, and your chosen field. You are trailblazers and you are leaders. As leaders, I encourage you to become true global citizens. Of course, you care about your home in Los Angeles, but you must keep up with the rapidly changing world. And this means that you, more than any other graduating class so far, must become lifelong learners. Nelson Mandela told the truth when he said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." I hope that as you carry on as leaders of your communities and fields, you will continue to educate yourself, not just to develop the necessary skills for economic success, but also to sharpen your understanding of and relevance in this evolving world. You will be in careers in your life that do not yet exist. We will depend on you to create, to innovate, and to solve our global challenges, including immigration solutions, climate change, artificial and adaptive technologies, and yes, even world peace, and challenges not yet known as we are here today together. We will depend on you. When you return, or whether you return to CSUN for another degree or a certificate program or attend another university, today's world is about continuous learning and discovery. We are not celebrating tonight the end of your learning, but rather we celebrate the skills that you have mastered to educate yourselves throughout life. Allow me now to thank the faculty and staff who share in the pride of your achievements. They play a significant role in supporting your success and are truly the heart of the university. And graduates, much of your experience was shaped by the generosity of CSUN alumni who supported scholarships, enhanced programs, and improved facilities for your benefit. And this year, it was tremendous to see more than 6,100 of our graduates, and counting, proudly following our alumni example by contributing to the senior class gift. So we thank you very much for that. To all of our dedicated faculty and staff, and most importantly, to the parents and family members who have helped our graduates reach this tremendous achievement, today is your special day as well. These students would never have made it without you. Families of our graduates, please stand now for a well-deserved round of applause. Families, please stand. And now please join me in congratulating our 2018-2019 graduates. I would now like to invite Dalton Pena, undergraduate student from the Department of Health Sciences, to address the graduating class and our guests.
Thank you, President Harrison. I also want to thank my family, the faculty, and all of you, my fellow students, who have made my college experience something more incredible than I ever would have thought imaginable. I believe it is important now that we take a moment to reflect briefly on the past. Most of you probably were told you should go to college. Some of you said, you know what, I think college is a good idea. And a few of you are here despite people telling you you can't. Whatever the reason, you made it, and here we are. This part of life's journey is over, and soon we'll move on. As we set out into the world with the culmination of our talents and skills, change is upon us. Change is the one thing that we truly know will always be there. I've worked in various industries and in different capacities, both as a worker and as a manager. And if there were one thing that I could pinpoint that has made the biggest influence on my life, it has been to embrace change and become a change agent. Most recently, when my home burned and my neighbor died from the fire in the excitement, that occurred in the fall of this last year. It was my biggest semester, 18 units, and I was dealing with the displacement of my family and trying to get everybody adjusted. Despite the obstacles, I ended that semester with 5 A's and a C+. Thank you. Now some might say 5 A's, oh, that's really great. Others would say that C+ really sucks. Now, for me, I said that C+ doesn't define me. That C+ inspired me to set even higher goals for myself after graduation than I originally had planned. Someone once said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right. As a track jumps coach at a local high school, I find myself sharing this concept often with the kids. High jumpers, for example, need to reach up, arch their back, and go over the bar to land safely on the other side. But coach, they say, it's hard. And I say, yep, it is. But so is walking, yet here we are. So you have a choice. You can either consider it hard or get on 2 feet and start walking. Now, yes, there have been and will be times when obstacles may seem difficult or impossible and maybe leave us a little apprehensive to move forward. But imagine for a moment driving down the street looking in the rearview mirror. How long would it take before you got into an accident or drove off the road? So why then do we do this with our lives? Let's learn from the movie The Lion King and the words of Rafiki, wise philosopher. Now Rafiki hits Simba on the head, and Simba says, "What was that for?" To which Rafiki replies, "It doesn't matter, it's in the past." Now, I'm not implying that we should not look at the past for reference, but that should not be our primary focus. Our purpose should be so much greater than the limitations of our past. Is there a greater purpose than pushing through boundaries and opening doors for others so that they might walk through as well? My hope for each one of you is to remember that and fuel that fire within you. Getting older is inevitable, but it is your perceptions that will dictate your choices and determine how your life's experiences will be. Life is, after all, this miraculous thing. But how will you come to know that if you never journey out and never explore it? In closing, I'd like to add this one saying: life is what happens to you at the end of your comfort zone, and challenge you to be clear about your goals, be purposeful about your actions, and be driven to succeed, and know that falling down is part of the journey. And when it's all over, you can look at yourself and be proud of who you've become. Class of 2019, this part of our journey together is over. But I look forward to meeting you in the field. Congratulations to you, the future leaders and shapers of healthcare. Thank you very much. One last thing. Remember, once a matador, always a matador.
That was fabulous. Thank you so much. Wow. I could hire you as a speechwriter. Excellent. Thank you for your sentiments and congratulations to you as well. The College of Health and Human Development would like to give special recognition to those students who have demonstrated outstanding scholarship and other special achievements while at the university. These students may be identified by the honors medallions, the cords and sashes that they are wearing. Will those students who are graduating with honors and other special achievements please rise and receive our applause? Thank you, and please be seated. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Farrell Webb, Dean of the College, to the podium to highlight 3 students who are deserving of additional recognition and who serve as examples of the excellence and extraordinary achievement that can be found among CSUN's accomplished student body.
Thank you, President Harrison. Good evening. It is my great pleasure to present to you today 3 extraordinary students who deserve additional recognition. Students, please rise when I call your name and remain standing while I speak briefly about your accomplishments. Kari Campbell Wright. Where is he? Where are you, Kari? Thank you. Okay. Kari Campbell Wright graduates today cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology. He is a recipient of the university's Outstanding Graduating Senior Award. Mr. Campbell Wright is a citizen of the university and a student leader for our college, having served as a student senator. Most recently, he was a student representative on an executive search committee, and his thoughtfulness ensured that student perspectives would be clear in this important process. Mr. Campbell Wright is generous in sharing his time and his talents. He has volunteered on a variety of projects, included but not limited to the following: the Department of Africana Studies as a tutor, serving as a liaison for both Black History Month and Black Graduation, in the Center for Achievement through Adaptive Physical Activity, and the Brown Center, working to improve the health and well-being of people with disabilities. The CSUN Food Pantry as a panel member for the high school to college transition program, feeding homeless families during the holiday season, and even, look around you, for Commencement. His academic performance has been consistent, steady, and not without obstacles. His character, intelligence, and good nature have served him well, and CSUN as well. Congratulations, Kari. Stephen Vitrone. Thank you. Stephen Vitrone is receiving his Master's in Public Health this evening through the Department of Health Sciences. His academic focus is applied epidemiology, and in his work, he focuses on ways to prevent health-related problems from forming in individuals and communities. Through the course of his master's program, where he earned a perfect 4.0 GPA, Mr. Vitrone has become a published researcher working with a team of CSUN faculty, graduate students, and colleagues from other universities to help children who are growing up in families where a family member is incarcerated. His data has shown that these children are at greater risk for negative effects on their future emotional and psychological well-being, including risk for substance abuse and mental health issues in later life. Because of his painstaking level of detail and dedication to the facts, his work can pave the way to a brighter future for children and families where incarceration has played a role. A student who quickly became known around the department for his willingness to tutor other students, or just lend a hand when biostatistics became unwieldy, Mr. Vitrone soon demonstrated that his conscientiousness, intellect, and willingness to assume leadership would lead to finding ways to help our communities flourish now and in the years to come. Congratulations, Stephen. Jenna Gould. Graduating with a doctor in physical therapy degree today is Ms. Jenna Gould, a 2018 recipient of the Roy and Roxy Campanella LA Dodgers Scholarship. Ms. Gould has made it a priority to engage colleagues and community. As president of the CSUN Physical Therapy Club, she coordinated outreach with local schools and brought guest speakers to campus. She volunteered for the exercise community living in prosthetics and supporting everyone, known as Eclipse, and attended professional conferences. Her initiation of a student-run physical therapy pro bono clinic established a trial partnership with the UCLA Mobile Medical Clinic to provide physical therapy services to those in need, including the homeless. She later co-presented a research poster at a professional conference. She is also worldly. Last year, she traveled with the CSUN Physical Therapy to Vietnam to research physical therapy standards at a campus in Da Nang. In her work with patients at a rehabilitation hospital there, she discovered her interest in neurological disorders. She will intern at a balance and vestibular clinic this summer and is currently working with a patient who has had spinal cord injury. A mentor through the CSUN Camino program, Ms. Gould finds something to value everywhere she goes. She even volunteers for Food Forward, donating surplus proteins to local food banks. Congratulations, Jenna.
Pretty impressive, isn't it? Let me remind all of us here that every single one of our graduates, whether they are honor students, Matador Rising Scholars, those who are graduating, regardless of how long it took you to get here or what your GPA was, you actually are all successful. And you are here and you have achieved a milestone in your lives by graduating with a degree. So our congratulations. We're very proud of you. Your families are proud of you, and you should be very proud of yourself, everyone here tonight. And now Dean Webb will present the candidates for the doctoral degree.
I ask all the candidates for the doctorate to please rise. President Harrison, from the College of Health and Human Development, I present the candidates for the Doctor of Physical Therapy. These candidates have completed the requirements for the doctoral degree as prescribed by the state of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have been recommended by the faculty of California State University, Northridge. Please continue standing where President Harrison confers the doctoral degree upon you.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of California State University, Northridge, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Physical Therapy with all of the rights, the honors, and the responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, doctors. And please be seated. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Stella Theodoulou, Interim Provost, who will now present the candidates for the master's degree.
President Harrison, there are 3 disciplines represented by the graduates for the master's degree in this ceremony tonight. They are from the Departments of Health Sciences, Kinesiology, and Recreation and Tourism Management. I ask that all candidates for the master's degree from the College of Health and Human Development please rise and remain standing. President Harrison, I have the honor of presenting to you the graduate class of 2019. These candidates have completed the requirements for the master's degree as prescribed by the State of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have been recommended by the faculty of California State University, Northridge. Candidates, please continue standing as President Harrison confers the master's degree upon you.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of California State University, Northridge, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Public Health, Master of Science in Health Administration, Master of Science in Kinesiology, Master of Science in Tourism, Hospitality, and Recreation Management, with all of the rights, the honors, and the responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, and please be seated. I now ask Dean Webb to return to now present the candidates for the baccalaureate degree.
President Harrison, there are 4 distinct disciplines represented by the graduates in the ceremony today. They are from the departments of Health Sciences, Kinesiology, Nursing, and Recreation and Tourism Management. I ask that all candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the College of Health and Human Development please rise and remain standing. Okay. Okay. President Harrison, I have the honor of presenting to you the graduating class of 2019. These candidates have completed the requirements for the baccalaureate degree as prescribed by the State of California and the trustees of the California State University. They have been recommended for their degrees by the faculty of California State University, Northridge.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of California State University, Northridge, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science in Athletic Training, Bachelor of Science in Health Administration, Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Bachelor of Science in Public Health, Bachelor of Science in Radiologic Sciences, and the Bachelor of Science in Tourism, Hospitality, and Recreation Management, with all of the rights, honors, and opportunities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, and please be seated.
Members of the platform party and department chairs will now offer congratulations to degree recipients. I ask that all degree recipients please move to the platform as directed by the marshals. Please come forward as your name is read. You will be congratulated by a member of the platform party and receive your diploma cover and certificate. Afterwards, please return to your seats as directed by the marshals, commencement staff, and ushers. I ask that guests please help that we may proceed in an orderly manner. We remind you that the aisles must be kept clear and open, and you're asked to stay in your seats until the end of the ceremony. Out of respect for our graduates and the safety of guests, noisemakers are not permitted. Okay? Finally, and out of respect for your fellow graduates, all graduates will remain throughout the entire ceremony until all degree recipients have been recognized.
Now reading names for the Department of Physical Therapy.
Alexander Gorokov,
Hanlon Fang, Chelsea Carroll,
Camille Fuller, Tara O'York,
Kristen Hubbs, Melissa Geiger,
Monica Zach, Wan Si Chuang,
Jenna Gould, Kaylee Fisher,
Rebecca Haas,
Elisa Obsepian, Christian Misi,
Roberto Alvarez, Kenneth Lim,
Gaspar Sebastian,
Eric James Jamera, Evan Felice, Gerardo Mina, Jose Perez,
Now reading names for the Department of Kinesiology.
Danica Marie Tolentino, Andrew Tapia, Daniel Azurdia, Alexander Alice,
Isabel Lorimer,
Rachel Abergel, Jennifer Rafe,
Melissa Catherman, Elizabeth Bird, Francis Warner, Samantha Durazo, Cindy Padilla,
Michael Weldon, Joshua Carlos,
John Gattas, Brian Morales, Maria Ramirez,
Chen Lu, Kimberly Bizzle, Carlos Gomez Alvarez, Christopher Pinello,
Richard Alvarado,
Muriel Tate,
Alejandra Palacios, Aksha Alex, Michelle Lara, Jeanette Sanchez, Karina Galindo, Maria Luis Diaz,
Nicole Perez,
Sequoia Fletcher,
Taylor Carr, Leandrew Lee, Jamison Ma,
Jose Dominguez Tatum,
Gerson Gomez,
Mayor Bogosian,
Oscar Gonzalez, Miguel Jacobo,
Luke Orfasi,
Heriberto Martinez, Jason Kivi, Luis Ignacio Gutierrez,
Brandon Matsuda,
Mary.
Kiana Josane,
Mary
Lorenzo
Zargarian.
Anino,
Mary Zargarian.
Katrina Batita Capella, Reina Elzayat,
Celeste Alcala, Valerie Carrillo,
Eric Blum,
Michael Kevin Caton, Kevin Garifi, Jacob John Maniti, Anahid Mazmanian, Vincent Martinez, Zachariah Gragas,
Earl Lopez, Christian Patrick Villavisa,
Kathy Reyes, Jonathan Price,
Christopher Lee, Lorena Gonzalez,
Christopher Reyes, Mayan Rodriguez, Caroline Polito,
Tanya Palafox,
Emily Morgan Arnold,
Jacqueline Zavala, Eves Cachuela, Edgar Ortega,
Aaron Yates, Mari Johnson,
Naomi Incerto,
Kyle Vistro, Brianna Vargas, Luis Durantes,
Nicholas Cervantes,
Michelle Giles,
Kevin Ruiz.
Zimian Key,
Alex Jimenez de la Torre, Ryan Schloop,
Angela Verdusco, Iyasu Nigash,
Sarkis Akhoyan, Dakota Henry,
Anna Manzo, Mera Panegua,
Estela Rodriguez Cervantes,
Maria Morfin, Lauren Mitchell,
Brian Garate,
Christina Gutierrez, Sona Hovance,
Nanette Manaskin,
Amarissa Hoffman, Hazel Fatima Cruz, Zachary Dare, Frank Koppenhaver,
Leandro Fusco,
Michael Jacobs,
Kurt Strangler,
Diego Aguilar Avila,
Soledad Marcus,
Travis Yamasaki,
Justin Velasco,
Minas Masanyan, Janelle Alvarez, Lucia Muro,
Francisco Cabillo,
Connie Alarcorn, Jennifer Vega Santa Maria,
Jessica Osman,
Lauren Hernandez, Jasper Bucad, Alec Kirchian,
Harry Campbell Wright, Aaron Gomes, William Valle,
Christian Cruz,
Cassius Ham, Isaiah Nunez,
Samuel Porter, Lucas Tim, Mackenzie Babbitt,
Savannah Horvath, Destiny Duran, Blair Orr, Kirk White, Alan Estevez,
Nazi Aladian,
Alejandra Rojas,
Williams Nieto Flores, Carlos Hernandez, Raymond Dang, Cesar Hippolito,
Tyler Wong,
Gustavo Zamudio,
David Balderrama, Brian Andrews,
Aram Babekian,
Jesus Vizcaya, Vicky Sue, Ryan Drench, Francis Tang,
Catherine Kelly Hager,
John Vu, Jason Pham,
Arlo Nepales,
Kevin Huang, Claudia Santillan, Natalie Berreta, Bojan Yang,
Cassandra Gardner,
Paul Angel Gonzalez,
Jasmine Gallardo,
Robin Amnott,
Samantha Mookie Jones, Arvin Joshua Nicholas, Adrian Briones, Jose Marroquin,
Joel Garcia, Gabriela Hernandez,
Michelle Ruiz,
Joshua Jackson,
Carla Portillo Morera,
Christopher Nunez,
Jessica Luna,
Audrina Jansen, Nicholas Goldbeck, John Sumera,
Elizaveta Nosenko, Alexa Gregorian,
Oscar Peralta, Pedro Gonzalez,
Edgar Perez Garcia, Kyle Bantle,
Nicholas Lopez, Cristelli Carmona,
Angel Islas,
Erica Borja, Brandon Vu,
Renee Passion,
Giovanni Pinaria,
Daisy Garcia,
Emily Belt, Deanna Carrera,
Jennifer Opaskit.
Christina Farage,
Darlene Farage. Aaron Patty. Julian Matias.
Alandrian Johnson,
Ludojean Pasquale. Austin Canlas.
Dean Ray Quiddiquit, Denson Buenconsejo,
Francisco Paniagua.
Santiago Jasso,
Christina Vera. David Olano.
Kyle Jensen,
Matthew Sandoval.
Ishmael Porcayo,
Devin Drozdowski.
Rihanna Orozco,
Alexandria Moraga.
Destiny Villegas, Anthony Picconi, Octavio Marquez,
Ahmed Bitar,
Eric Prete, Hayden Wright, Brittany Guzman,
Stephen Hurdle. Jill Ann Vital. Rebecca Duncan.
Melinda Gomez, Stephen Dunn, Jacob Tolentino, Stephen Coy,
Harutian Mintangian. Benjamin Cowart.
Osil Dorado, Samantha Torres,
Aja Maylert. Blaine Bennett. Sergio Barrientos. Gabriel Curia. Anthony Vasquez.
Jacob Ulam, Ernesto Rivas,
Alexander Duran. Charles Mendoza. David Gallardo.
Cole Kissick, Heather Gittins,
Carissa Castro. Stephen Beckel.
Brian Robertson,
Naomi Shapira. Madison Donahue. Ira Perez. Kiana Solano. Philip Antonio.
Arthur Verdanian, Giovanni Solis,
John Espinosa. Edwin Monroy. Joseph Rivas. Serena Lopez.
April Liwag,
Elaine No. Tina Tao Huang Nguendo.
Leslie Barajas, Cheyenne Ashley Ramos,
Raymond Cagiola.
Marissa Parr,
Colleen May Dai. Andrea Bautista.
Ricardo Martinez, Sam Fukushigi,
Ruben Ruiz.
Bryce Chan,
Oscar Flores. Victor Seja. Elisa Arieta. Tanya Chavez. Yamileth Bonilla. Julissa Lopez. Christian Anderson. Arjun Borkar.
Alberto Rodriguez,
I'm gonna just walk around with him a little. He's not sit down.
Desiree De Lorenzo,
But you can walk outside of the ropes, okay?
Stephanie Alfaro.
Damaris Perez Valenzuela,
Thank you.
Isabel Marquez. Megan Tatum. Cynthia Albarian. Mercedes Lee. Monique Muratala.
Brittany Aquino, Luis Fernandez,
John Frederick Altre.
Eunice Santiago,
Naomi Changkoko.
Melissa Joy Lewenko, Faith Rihanna Ignacio. Juliet Patterson Fletcher. Nathan Men. Albert Lim. Andrew Nguyen.
Yongin Lee. Autumn Corbett. Jason Yoon. Devyani Kohli. Robert Drewliner. Kevin Haramia.
Harry Valle. Kevin On.
Justin Castillo. Eric Barraza.
Leda Noriega.
Matthew Allen. Terza Porras. Nicole Chung.
Shannon Cohenshed.
Philip D. Zotel. Ashkan Nikafor. Omar Silva. Hector Ramirez. Alexandro Sandoval. Augustine Stoll.
Victor Menchaca. Jennifer Abanati. Liran Shahafeth. Felipe Oliveria.
Peter Rowland.
Veronica Pina. Carlos Calderon Vividicio. Levy Allison.
Christian Peterson Hayes. Yasmin Tobar.
Alejandro Alfonso.
Rogelio Vargas. Lauren Pierce.
Nicole Bautista. Sandra Rivas Hernandez.
Jonathan Roa.
Axel Sandoval. Carl Mendoza. Kristen Neri.
Miguel Diaz.
Edward Park.
David Dominguez.
Samuel Mayhall.
Toshihiro Miura.
Maritza Brown.
Vicky Safi.
Alina Akbakarian.
Christina Birch. Thomas Dagnachu.
Tessa Klein.
Jason Wolfork. Eduardo Navarrete. Eric Hernandez. Latoya Andrews. Christine Bakhtor.
Paul Rodriguez.
Gordon Edenjock.
Michael Salazar. Angelica Alberto. Michelle Liu. Maham Ahmed. Kieran Rushton. Christina Dominguez.
Emmanuel Barba. Chris Ure. Zachary Lutke.
Jonathan Montiel.
Marissa Alvarado. Andrew Soto. Angel Rodriguez.
Gregor Balasanyan. Mike Sabanjian.
Luis Zamora.
Maria Yalabat. Alan Ledesma.
David Rangel.
Jorge Palacios.
Mia Thompson.
Christopher Brown.
Manuel Vargas. Luis Meza. Daniel Silva. Eric Hernandez.
Julian Parata.
Daisy Reyes. Alejandro Bernal.
Jose Moreno Salas.
Haik Tatavesian. Valon Morton.
Victor Balderas.
Ezekiel Escabel. Chris Pantania.
Claudine Shahinian.
Jeremy Botang.
Manuel Gonzalez.
Edison Maceos.
Gerardo Aguirre. Kenny Casillas,
Randy Pereira Vieira,
Jose Castillo Loaiza, Luz Gourmejo,
Kevin Gorastieta Ocampo,
Yi Hao Yang,
Pablo Fontora,
Viviana Garcia, Adam Schwery, Daniel Larios, Christian Sibley, Lizardo Salazar,
Stephanie Ayala,
Jeffrey Sarco Clamaco, Jonathan Gonzalez,
Aldo Martinez, Jonathan Correz, Adam Tejedor,
Jesus Avalos,
Baron Garcia, Natalie Kaleshian, Nelly Asatrian, Rodrigo Cordero, Olesia Skolkina,
Janet Pablo,
Matthew Roy, Alfredo Ortega,
Sevag Zakarian, Sevan Tashjian,
Petros Simonian, Zachary Nawabi,
Ryan Cardoza, Darlin Loaiza,
Casey Enriquez,
Nicholas Poloff,
Edward Niega, Mahir Amin, Maurice Lee,
Andrew Nguyen, Sean Ramos,
Justin Mariano, Vicky Mack,
Giselle De Jesus,
Arnel Ferron, Lee Alon,
Kayla Michelle, Alexander Diaz,
Michael Abaspour,
Scott Teves, Owen Renon,
Bia Hernandez,
Mario Urquides,
Roshan Verghese,
Alexander Copello,
Daniel Jamie,
Jonathan Pineda,
Narek Mesropian, DeAndre Pearson, Michelle Conviser, Katrina Safarian, Shant Agakani, Hovannes Oganesian,
Pedros Ogasanyan,
Elias Serona,
Nicholas Hand, Tomik Tatavosian, Christopher Anthony, Justin DeVera,
John Raymond Monhe, Audrey Salguero,
Carlos Perez,
Gerard Balabo,
Amber Perkins,
Marlena Kian,
Parker Sanchez Engelman,
Jonathan Fuentes,
Danielle Robinson, Joel Romero,
Nakisha Williams,
Victoria Hyatt, Kathleen McCann,
Nikki Lamb, Brandon Jacob Ortega, Jennifer Hernandez, George Caceres, Savannah Voorhees,
Austin Williamson, Aram Shanazarian,
Andre Maddox,
Carlton Castro, Fernando Cazares,
Christian Mendez,
Bijan Hazemi.
John!
Now reading names for the Department of Recreation and Tourism Management.
Luis Miguel Gonzalez Sola.
EEG.
Matthew Leonakadikis.
Nada Ilauri.
Vladimir Martinez. David Feldman.
Youngsu Choi.
Bowen Tan.
Hannah Zeleznik.
Melanie Catton. Michael Cox.
Lauren Fox.
Karen Salazar.
Cassandra Morga. Patricia Murcia Ramirez. Nicole Francis Vigil. Julianne Wright. Eric Hovanisian.
Gamar Mezekhayan.
Madison Means. Cheol Su Park.
Mireya Vasquez. Matthew Purty.
Rebecca Sandler.
Jenna Rahimzada. Idara Gonzalez.
Jennifer Vargas. Luis Perez Gonzalez.
Kimberly Huezo. Christina Kakkin. Cynthia Aguiano.
Alexandra Zarakelski.
Caroline Gonzalez.
Lisa Homaden.
Rachel Lee. Alex Ayala. George Gavrikian. Cindy Tovar.
Carlo Fortiza. Kelsey Amendral. Ashley Bizcaluz.
Juana Serna. Chandler Haskell.
Andrea Castaneda. Caitlin Tucker.
Joseph Fleming. Hannah Benabid.
Joseph!
Richard Bolasagian.
Thompson Pang. Ali Bumara. Nicholas Grind.
Tom Dana.
Lucretia Sebastian.
Shizuki Kasahara. Alex Mattern.
Mickey Carino. Yuriko Maida.
Sabella Luna. Badana Mao.
Bai Tran.
Stefani Saldana.
Marie Longres.
Now reading names for the Department of Nursing.
Christine Campbell.
Jenna Lauren Zamnit.
Lori Meacham. Kaylee Cabrera.
Sang Mua.
Charmaine Albina.
Aaron Charles Rodriguez.
Araceli Lazaret Cervantes. Maria Tabadaya. Edgar Cardona.
Elizabeth Arambula.
Ariel Leonidas.
Erica Shim. Bonita Bel Vasquez.
Vanessa Zuniga.
Phuk Hun. Zaidakan Abduleba.
Erica Arizmendi. Joshua Salomon,
Iskali Esparza,
Avavni Gazidans, Gohar Baghumyan, Araceli Montez,
Fenella Ravago, Denise Rosas Gonzalez, Elizabeth Leon, Mariam Gregorian, Christopher Hernandez,
Annalisa Contreras, Xiao Min Lee, Keith Danielle Hippolito, Kathleen Dionora,
Malaya Fontanilla,
Susanna Corna Bautista,
Hamasik Margarian,
Tui Bui,
Erica Ramirez, David Abbott,
Cheyenne Coral, Annabelle Rodriguez,
Now reading names for the Department of Health Sciences.
Linda Samano, Nina Mihailov, Umi Amen Kazi, Viridiana Ortiz, Chelsea Schaefer, Chelsea Carlton, Hannah Jalili,
Faranaz Deruge, Ruth Toruño, Stephanie Asensio,
Christine Galcian,
Daniel Sotzi, Debavrata Borthwick,
Benny Dang, Saba Sadatzadeh, Negan Najafi,
Arghavan Alatome,
Dulma Veronica Marino,
Paulina Montalvo,
Alejandra Pena Velasquez, Ariel Young, Ria Fishman, Rebecca Mwanfo, Danielle Erica Coe,
Armene Sanosian, Stacy Alford, Gio Alfonso Tugade, Diane Estrada,
Cynthia Killian,
Stephen Vertrone, Lucille Arthur, Clarence Oxidine,
Lucine Gigalian, Angela Mobsessian,
Natalie Haraturian, Andranik Avasitian,
Whitney Duncan, Marissa Murillo, Jessica Perez,
Jacqueline Perez,
Aishin,
Stephanie Morales,
Jessica Lopez,
Jocelyn Garcia,
Leslie Benitez,
Noelle Urquia,
Allison Portillo, Stephanie Jimenez, Jessica Times,
Crystal Ganley,
Vanessa Juarez,
Gabriel Anayan, Crystal Tovar, Alicia Torres,
Stephanie Okafor,
Raymani Gordon, Neri Jelabochian,
Alejandra Zeffirino,
Jo Marie Ann Marquez,
Justin Tugade, Jessica Galora,
Prenny Sarkeesian,
Roshanik Hoghogi,
Milani Santizo, Manny Oganyan,
Veronica Gaustian,
Moretti Garabegi,
Ashley Mangum, Asia Williams,
Olivia Morris, Anna Cristobal Nicholas,
Vanessa Silva, Nancy Alejo, Jocelyn Barragan Garcia, Kathleen May Presto,
Camille Dulay, Neredia Felix, Karina Yanez, Flor Herrera,
Kimberly Pinedo,
Merlin Pinedo, Vivian Josefian, Tamara Gulian, Eric Ariano, Juri Takahashi, Josiah Balcruz, Ray Lee,
Roseberly Ortiz,
Jocelyn Ramos, Caitlin Rivera Ramos,
Ariel Valles,
Tatiana Giles,
Harnia Gayati, Ariana Marsubian,
Bilad Ryan Sahevia,
Jericho Yip, Lubena Chandabai,
Erica Rodriguez, Amber Carrillo,
Linda Ortiz, Eric Shanazarian,
Alex Cassiano, Sharose Butt,
Jijing Zhao,
Petros Gazarian, Gilberto Martinez, Rigoberto Perez, Susana Lara,
Diane Tarula, Layla Bata,
Elizabeth Ricard,
Marlon Mendez,
Anthony Gonzalez, Maria Diaz Rodriguez, Daisy Hippolito, Jennifer Garcia, Gabriela Ortiz, Mary Beeman, Justin Lorenzo,
Melissa Camacho, Tiffany Mercado,
Brianna Valencia, Esmeralda Cruz,
Stephanie Diaz, Avery Chapman,
Kai Do, Ethel Mariel Fernandez,
Daisy Lopez, Heidi Flores, Tiffany Juarez,
Angela Martinez, Lauren Monores,
Sabat Yosef, Sandra Gonzalez,
B. Hugh,
Michelle Granados, Stephanie Soto, Anardis Navarro Garcia,
Veronica Altamirano,
Amir Bargi, Richard Ferrales,
Matthew Cercena,
Danico Liu,
Melissa Alvarez, Karen Ramos,
Jennifer Martinez,
Nika Sinclair,
Jenny Lamb,
Jean Marviel Orlovida,
Consuelo Solorzano, Lorena Venegas,
Ruben Barreto, Vanessa Rosas, Jacqueline Diaz,
Stephanie Alcaraz, Wing Yin Lao,
Aileen Patanian, Justin Martinez, Bianca Kodabash,
Jessica Machian, Mary Mina El Sharoni, Corrine Kondanian, Sandra Denoyan,
Bridget Grigore, Alina Soar,
Emily Camberos,
Brianna Morente,
Tony Go, Talia Zapata,
Vanessa Rios Ruiz,
Samantha Kern, Danielle Oliva,
Rebecca Gonzalez, Remy Guerra,
Bradley Ripa,
Yasti Henriquez, Mary Chokechian,
Claudia Chanchola Silva,
Sean Shabazi, Brenda Yanes, Nora Harrington,
Karina Barrigan, Jocelyn Lazo,
Kimberly Mendoza,
Alexandra Morales, Vanessa Barajas,
Mitzi Sanchez Hernandez, Mui Tang, Nilufar Nace,
Miguel Galvez,
Maya Chacon,
Andrea Rosales,
Nick Morales,
Corey Mitchell,
John Noblejas,
Edward Abrigo,
Christian Hueso Salgado,
Hiwat Asemi,
Rosalind Sosa, Cecilia Estrada,
Sonia Menzabal Corrado, Ala Gukaskian,
Claudia Klum,
Alexandra Sandoval, Jasmine Tarango,
Alexia Carlos, Michelle Ventura, Megan Ya, Karina Farias, Danielle De Rosas,
Jessica Escobar,
Justin Layugan,
Ayang Chui, Maria Gonzalez, Charlene Blydika, Sam Sapphire Moleno, Eduardo Simon, Adam Estrada, Roxanne Raimondo, Alexandra Casanovas,
Elizabeth Arroyo,
Alexander Turong, Paul Manamintum, Gabrielle Leon,
Frank Gonzalez,
Roberto Linares Campos,
Zenia Cardenas,
David Gillen, Jessica Barrera, Karina Agueva,
Taylor Troost, Sarahi Garcia, Sonia Ceja, Elizabeth Lopez Rodriguez, Gordon Goldbart, Martha Villalobos Paez,
Andrea Huaso,
Mari Lebarian,
Claudia Laura, Mana Farhanajad, Nora Khalil, Ilona Iwanikik,
Sophia Puthota,
Risa Bautista,
Jocelyn Guyul, Cynthia Perez, Valentina Enayo Zuniga,
Elizabeth Becerra,
Ishmael Ruiz, Deruhi Shegian,
Natalie Ekmechian, Taylene Gazalian, Andre Oz, Noah Mankirian,
Brian Castro, Yasmin Azuz, Pamika Praschepchian,
Stephanie Lee,
Jasmine Rivera,
Cassandra Woods, Blanca Lopez Tucax, Jasmine Ortega, Emma Gaznachian,
Flor de Maria Peraza, Elaine Burbayan,
Ashley Claudio, Darius Della Pena, Swara Shaw,
Oceani Cal,
Glenn Zara,
John Lawrence Palanca,
Simran Singh,
Rocio Alvarado, Hannah Gibson, Emily Alvarado, Selena Solorio,
Mario Meza, Elias Gallegos, Alicia Hernandez,
Anthony Zankich,
Connor Olson, Georgia Marathi Pananse, Karina Pambakian,
Erica Aguilar, Lizette Saucedo, Mariceli Miller, Aida Armas, Stephanie Molina, Linda Franco,
Myra Sandoval,
Ayla Castro, Babak Monzavi, Jacqueline Poblete,
May Pond,
Sandy Bunkard, Shariah Brown,
Kimberly Guevara,
Christian Strickland,
Ashley Oriana, Madison Cagulata,
Stephanie Martinez, Nellie Ovando, Andrea Ramos, Jordan Jaffe,
Christina Morales, Julia Tran,
Cole Austin,
Edwin Cerner Gonzalez, Christopher Vega, Sean Pavlik, Christopher Danko, Emmanuel Shatola,
Titlali Lepe Diaz,
Pasiata Gaba,
Alexander Ruda,
Claudia Garcia,
Deanna Duran, Maria Ruiz,
Marcela Borjaques,
Rafael Espinoza,
Carolina Carrillo Perez, Fiorella Betashtu,
Daisy Tran,
Maria Olmos,
Paula Campos Bernal, Carla Hagverdian,
Tina Maggasarian, Chance Bolden,
Montevos Pogoisian,
Talon Beckner,
Bella Aga, Celine Barkhordari,
Florian Cable,
Elahe Tadayanpur, Simin Sadeghi, Vanna Kershishian, Mariam Sidaros, Catherine Yusuf, Ruba Yahi,
Tatiana Schwickbiel,
Kiristene Tarkanians, Alex Amabiska, Liza Mezjian,
Jennifer Mendoza, April Sanchez, Armin Hambersturian, Lindsay Mustin, Alexandra Naranjo,
Uzayan Sharif,
Lisa Manungian,
Maral Derbedrosian, Nora Gorgis,
Sako Simonian,
Edita Dabtian, Amy Abraham, Magdaleno Romero, Monica Mendez,
Isel Montiel,
Maritza Rosas,
Juan de la Mora, Joe Rojas,
Joshua Morgia Orozco, Yopi Noer,
Jeremiah Sovecki,
Ivana Burroman,
Mary Rose Margaret Faustino, Caitlin Nguyen,
John Reingruber, Shaylina Bundalian, Nashra Delion, Natika Thakur,
Somia Sinha, Melanie Aford,
Karen Olivar, Camille Hargraves, Karina Geddes.
Brenda Mejia. Sandeep Tilwal.
Sheila Marufi.
Daisy Christina Wang.
Dalton Pena.
Cynthia Nalvarte. Gehan Aziz. Catherine Perez de Leon.
Jacqueline Garcia. Monica Gutierrez.
Diana Farahat. Seda Kalulian.
Vivian Hidalgo. Kristen Pert. Merce Alamsigad. Anna Martinez.
Kimberly Sanchez.
Jessica Robinson.
Jacqueline Castillo.
Edelmira Gonzalez Contreras.
Jasmine Guzman.
Lindsay Chavez.
Vivian Agudo Macias.
Stephanie Zuniga. Jesus Garduno.
Amanda Jaramillo.
Laura Gonsaski.
Elliot Andrade Camarona. Arux Pagosian. Osni Balasanyan. Karini Kasheshian.
Natalie Safarian. Jessica Rendon. Camille Turner.
Sanji Amak. Christina Neighbors. Lee Na Kim.
Rebecca Ochoa. Helen Oliva. Carla Cuevas Contreras. Shakira Vasquez.
Alejandra Peraza. Mariana Garcia Martinez. Viviana Sanchez. Eloisa Garcia. Stephanie Ann Leyva.
William Wang. Xu Guan.
Carolina Rios.
Diana Perez.
Chantel Ramirez Vasquez.
Brittany Hankins. Helen Mendez.
Marissa Favela.
Tiffany Hall. Eric Vargas. Tatiana Artinian. Jessica Rubalcaba. Tiffany Tran. Jessica Hara. Jamie Ruiz. Marissa Duran.
Sabrina DeBelen. George Holiday. Daniel Rodriguez.
Oliver Donis. Kevin Espiritu. Roberto Cisneros. Zan Chao U. Anna McCurchian.
Vardu Kashkarian.
Kayla Cuellar.
Elizabeth Valle.
Desi Silva. Aldwin Kamanjian.
Earl John Castaneda.
Alejandra Sanchez. Helava Velasco. Brandon Mutia. Annette Davudian.
Anahit Gregorian.
Ripseme Tapalikian. Nicole Fan. Brooke Hames. Jocelyn Sarceno.
Diana Beretta Kovayan.
Alejandra De Leon.
Giselle Moyeda. Katrina Arriaga Alva.
Hamade Karami. Yolanda Zamora.
Alyssa Abernathy.
Kendrick Balba.
Teresa Placencia.
Evelyn Marin.
Geneva Ruano. Nancy Bessaril. Kayla Tendler.
Yuri Sandoval. Arpi Kanbabai. Jeremy Carvajal. Angelito Umang.
Kayla Navarro. Guadalupe Silva. Lerne Kavorsian. Mary Drembarian. Emily Argueta. Moralia Samirski. Anam Siddiqui. Vanessa Aguilera. Bradley Perkins. Stephen Kaw.
Margarita Garcia.
Dr. Jack Scott will now officially welcome you into the California State University Northridge Alumni Association.
Thank you, President Harrison. It's almost time to party, but before we do, on behalf of the CSUN Alumni Association and nearly 360,000 Matadors, it is my pleasure to be the first to formally welcome you to be an alumni of our great university. It's a deja vu experience for me as a proud health science graduate arriving from southern France. But now each of you may have the title of alumnus or alumni on your name. You're honored to join with us to celebrate your achievement. Today marks the beginning of an enduring relationship with CSUN, and we encourage you to stay connected as you realize your dreams and aspirations. As I have, and I invite you to pay it forward, either through scholarships or for your service. You will aid the next generation of Matadors to follow. So on behalf of the Alumni Association, I wish you bon chance and congratulations and welcome to our CSUN alumni family.
Thank you, Dr. Scott. I ask that all baccalaureate degree recipients please rise. Those of you who aren't already standing up. In academic tradition, the student who has not yet earned a degree wears the tassel to the right of the mortarboard. When the degree is conferred, the scholar moves the tassel to the left and joins the select company of the highly educated. In recognition of your new status, all recipients of the baccalaureate degree move your tassel to the left. And now I ask all of our graduates to please rise. For your final message, go out into the world, accomplish great things, and come back and tell us about them so we can brag about you. Please. But also help the students who come after you understand and appreciate the importance that they can make in the world. To officially close the ceremony, I ask that faculty, staff, and CSUN alumni rise for our university alma mater, Hail to the Matadors, under the musical direction of Scott Whitfield and the Jazz A Band, and sung by Merced Stratton. The alma mater's in the back of your commencement program should you need to follow along, but most of you already know these words, I'm sure. After the alma mater has concluded, please remain at your seats until the platform party has recessed. We ask that all parents and guests please remain seated until the end of the recessional. Again, thank you so much. Congratulations. And once a Matador, always a Matador.